It's getting rough out here. Today is day 13 of our mission to cross the Pacific Ocean from Mexico all the way to French Polynesia, somewhere 1,300 miles that way. We are officially more than halfway there. But we've entered the convergent zone, which is where the trade winds from the northern hemisphere crash into the trade winds from the southern hemisphere. There's this narrow band across the equator where there's either no wind or a ton of storms, like we had last night.
They're doing a clockwise circle in the northern hemisphere and then a big anti-clockwise circle in the southern hemisphere and then a band in the middle where they don't meet.
We had to pull in the code D and we just put up the main. Main is going up for the first time in 3 days. And it's gonna be serious sailing with winds and storms and rain from this point on. Since it's getting a little dangerous out here, today we're gonna talk about what we do, where we go, in the rare instance this boat starts to sink. But first, coffee. We were all soaked last night. A lot of rain out there tonight. Toughest night watch so far. Squalls and rain. And I only got 4 hours of sleep. So the emergency game plan is twofold. First, we always try to save the boat. If we were to hit a whale or a submerged container and we start taking on water, our first mission is to get the water out. Sorry. Coffee. So there's a variety of pumps for that. We've got 3 separate bilge pumps for each side. You've got the automatic bilge pump. It's got a float switch on it. Anytime there's water that collects in the sump, it shoots all the water out of the boat. In the case that that float switch doesn't work, we've actually got these manual switches right here on the, dang it, I just broke that. You got these manual switches right here that can turn on the bilge. And it makes that sound right there. Our second line of defense are these diaphragm pumps that are called gulper pumps. Those guys are controlled at the electrical panel. There's one on each side, but what happens when we lose all electrical and all the pumps stop working?
Manual bilge pumps.
Yes, we have 2 manual bilge pumps, one for each side again, and those are located under the sun pad, AKA Jamie's bed. Starboard side, port side, it's a big diaphragm pump in there. You grab the sticks that are mounted next to it, reach around the outside, and you pump like this. But how long realistically can you sit here and pump? It's really starting to come down now. It's actually really nice after over a month of no rain on this boat. So there's salt that dries up all over the deck, dust from the volcanoes that we passed a week ago, all of that gets washed off. And whenever it rains, we also do some rainwater collection. So we won't drink this water, but we can use it for washing dishes, washing clothes. I need to wash my pants. I've been wearing the same pants for and my towel's starting to smell funky.
We don't have a washer aboard, so we gotta go old school. And fresh water is limited, so we use the ocean. Find a bucket, get some soap, and fill her up with salt water for the wash cycle. This hose pulls water from the ocean for things like washing dishes and cleaning the deck. Then you roll up your sleeves. Wait, what do you call sleeves for your pants? Ankle covers? And then you start stepping like you're making wine.
This reminds me of that scene where that lady's trying to stomp on grapes to make wine and then she just trips and falls off the stage.
All day. Stop. Oh, stop.
Have you seen that? Oh my God, you gotta watch it, it's hilarious.
Oh, 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 I can't. Ow, 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 oh, stop, oh, stop, oh, 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 no.
And then you dump the dirty water, rinse out the soap with more salt water, and finish it off with a single freshwater rinse. Now you just have to hang it up on the lifelines to dry and hope for no rain. It rained and rained, but we'll get to that in a bit.
Real quick, you guys know that I speak Mandarin, right? 你好，我住在船上. I don't even remember learning it as a kid, but trying to learn a new language now is like pulling teeth. I've been trying different ways to teach myself French because we're headed to French Polynesia, and I finally settled on Babbel because it's one of the top language learning apps in the world. Babbel is scientifically proven to help you start speaking a new language in 3 weeks. I had to learn Spanish by myself when I was down in Panama, and it took me a year to figure it out. With Babbel, I've been learning real-world conversations like Je vous manger des sandwichs à partir de chenilles? The app is super customizable and it works by focusing on long-term retention. And now I can say things like, excusez-moi, avez-vous vu mon bateau? Right now there's a huge discount on their lifetime subscription, which is by far the best deal. And it's perfect for me because I'll be learning new languages as we sail around the world. If you want to learn another language for work or vacation, check out Babbel at the link below and get 60% off during their Black Friday sale. You've got 20 days to see if it works for you, and if for some reason it doesn't, they'll give you all your money back. Okay, retour à la video. What are you making us?
I'm making Dave deviled egg upon request.
So if all three of those bilge pumps stop working, what do we do? If the hole is big enough and we can't stop the ingress of water, that's when we have to abandon ship. Rain's coming in that way. And that's where the 2 dinghies and our 2 life rafts come into play. This right here is our go-to escape pod. It's a high field 380, which means it's 3.8 meters long. It's the exact same dinghy we have at home. We've got boat dinghy engines inside already. So if the boat's going down, we grab the ditch bag, drop the dinghy, and everybody hops in. 8 people, no problem. But we need backups. 2 of us will run up front and grab the high field 290, 2.9 meters, bring it over the edge, and toss it in. So now we have 2 dinghies. It's calm right now. And we got storms in front of us, behind us. It zaps all the wind from the boat. Without enough wind, the sails flap.
With no wind behind us, we weren't going anywhere anytime soon. So we did something amazing. We went for a swim where the ocean was 15,000 feet deep.
Did you check for sharks yet? I'm scared.
I don't know if it was just in my head, but the water was so different there. It felt fresh and clean and cooler than normal. But the weirdest part was it didn't taste as salty. Is that a thing?
Watch out, Dave! You knew we went under the boat!
We were over 1,300 miles from land in all directions, but it felt like this was exactly where we were supposed to be.
Bye, Katie! Oh, shit, what's that? Oh, God, look, hurry, Katie! Get back in here! You made it, Katie.
Enough torturing my nemesis. Let's get back to the emergency plan.
If the seas are crazy, or it's storming so hard that the dinghies would capsize, then we're going for the life rafts. Our main life raft is located right here, just in front of the dinghy. The first thing you do to deploy is to cut these 2 lines. And then there's a painter or a super long deployment line that's connected to the boat.
This right here is attached to our firing cable, and once we pull this,
It's right there. So
right
when
there.
this pops out, you know for sure you're about to fire.
Yeah.
So we're about 35 feet of line. This is technically a painter, right? Oh, yes. Oh my gosh, it's happening. Then we can pull it in next to the boat and all hop in. We also have this backup life raft. Although it's really old and already expired, it definitely still works. I've seen life rafts that are over 20 years old deployed. They just fill up a lot slower.
Let me start by saying this is not my video. I just looked it up because I wasn't sure if I had made up the fact that a 20-year-old life raft can still deploy. And as I'm watching this video, I'm thinking, all of this feels so familiar. And then look at who I randomly see sitting on the dock. That's me when I went to St. Martin to survey our boat. The 20-year-old life raft does indeed inflate, but more importantly, look at that luscious hair.
Current speed, 1.3 knots. Storm, 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 storm.
We've got storms all around us. Red means they're coming towards you, and green means it's going away. This was literally the calm before the storm. Vinny and I have got
2 hours of watch starting now. Here comes the rain. You can see it right there. There's a line of rain coming our way.
right where the water's rippling and darkening a bit.
Oh, now it's getting cold again.
I'm going with the get wet and embrace it method.
You either commit to the full rain gear or just board shorts. And the rain's here.
And my towel's soaked. My feet had been wet since early this morning, and on this watch, they started to go numb. I played it cool in front of Vinny, but it was really freaking me out.
Oh, my feet hurt. Looks like a brain.
Google said I had trench foot, which is when your skin swells from being wet for so long and starts lifting away from your foot. It actually got worse by the end of our shift, and it hurt like a son of a bitch.
What's wrong with them?
Oh my God, they're like numb.
This is the final step to our emergency game plan. Every single thing that's in our ditch bag laid out for your viewing pleasure. We've got communication devices to call for help, signaling devices to help them find us, food and meds that keep us alive till help arrives, and tools that we can use to catch more food, like this fishing kit here. And let's not forget my favorite.
Got a sextant, which none of us know how to use, but it's there, mostly for show.
Throw in a couple jugs of water,
20 liters of water,
a floating med kit, and a flare gun, and that's everything you need if you're abandoning your ship.
Subscribe to Dave so you can watch him cross the ocean.